कृपया ध्यान दीजिए, the language used on the podcast may not be fit for consumption. We warn you, tread carefully. But listen, yaar, don't be so conservative. Yeah, people talk about nepotism all the time, and film industry mein nepotism, though everybody talks about it. But I want to just mention here, my father's name is Faruk, okay? And unfortunately or fortunately, the gentleman sitting next to me has the same name, but he's a little younger than my dad. So I'll have to keep referring to him as not my dad, Faruk. Faruk Kabir, famous director, writer, creator, lots of projects, lots of things to talk about. But first, welcome to the show. You've gone through a lot of traffic. This is a huge problem with us on the podcast. I want people to know how we suffer. Outside Mumbai, loko pata nahi ki the situation is getting worse and worse. They think, these guys are in the great city of Mumbai and world is great here. Let them know the suffering.
Yeah, the suffering. I think there's too much VIP movement today. That's why there's
traffic
on the roads.
I love you, Faruk. I want to come, Faruk. I want to come and
slowly
kiss you.
becoming like Delhi now.
You have said all the lovely things. You are winning all the awards from IVM right now. You have no idea.
Becoming like Delhi.
This VIP movement is now so. I know it's what we call the elite issues of India and all that, but there's someone. I mean, it's really like an epidemic. Forget COVID. This is the new one. Just deal with this now. Every time they have some stupid movement to airport or whatever, 17 roads get shut down. And all the cops are so alert and they're standing there like German shepherds, really and tight and taut.
Cops are actually standing in the duck part of the road.
Yeah.
I just saw that yesterday. Cops were trenched into the duck part of the road.
Well, they have to go somewhere. Back in my area, they sit on chairs now. Okay, this is like office. Waiting for people to pass on the main road. Make this film now, if you can. Huh?
I would like to post that picture.
Yeah.
Traffic cops.
They get no Khuda Haafiz from me. I can tell you that when I pass. Now I say much worse words than that. All right. If we have time, we will get into all that because life is terrible as we speak. But having said that, you've just released, not just released about a month, I think, since you released.
Yeah.
Part 2, is it?
Of Khuda Haafiz.
Khuda
Haafiz Agni Pariksha.
Agni Pariksha. So that's the final test, right?
Yeah. So to speak.
My Hindi, I don't even know if they allow Urdu anymore. I have to be careful. It's present times that we live in, so I'll say Hindi because it's got nothing to do with.
It's actually an Indian language. No, it has nothing to do with the community.
Let's do it. What's wrong if it has something to do with the community? Hello. Listen, we are both minorities here. We can say what we want for the next 20 minutes. Okay. After that, we get into VIP movement.
Minority morcha.
Yeah. No, it's hilarious how the people want to remove Urdu and things like that when not realizing it's the mother of Hindi. There's no question of that. I mean, you can't deny that. One comes from the other. Yeah. No comments, says Faruk.
A land full of languages.
Faruk is saying, I won't say anything until I change my name to Falguni. Okay, we won't pressurize you with stupid comments. Let's get to the whole thing. So, so is it just tell me, I'm not a Hindi movie buff or a English movie buff for that matter. So the worst guy to interview anyone who's done such good work. Although we have followed your career from the early days. Do you want to start from there, or should we start from where we are right now?
Wherever you.
Let's go back. Very interesting. You've assisted first.
Yeah.
On Phir bhi Dil Hai Hindustani.
I was a young 17-year-old boy, dropped out of college, so to speak. First year of college and started working. Yeah.
And this is the Shah Rukh film, right?
This is the Shah Rukh film.
Because I came for one day of shooting at Crossroads in Tardeo, I remember, with MTV crew,
yes,
if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Mirza brothers, right?
Aziz Mirza.
Correct, yeah.
Aziz Mirza.
And we had to meet him. It's a long story because one of the gentlemen was a sponsor. He was doing some work with me and Malaika. He's a watch guy, etc.
Yes, the Swatch, the rose.
Yes.
Watch.
So, I'm right?
Yeah, absolutely right.
So we came in, they were very sweet, very nice, and that's my memory. But also that was in South Bombay because growing up it's very rare to have much in South Bombay. Yeah. And so we had Shah Rukh Khan's presence. So where you
South Bombay was still a place back then.
South Bombay didn't have VIP movement. Shah Rukh was the only VIP that had come in for the last 20 years. It was like that. Yeah. Don't even start about
South Bombay is going all south now.
Yeah. Oof. Ouch. Okay. See what they've done to our serious filmmakers, made them into stand-up comedians. Right. So you dropped out of college. What did you want to do? I mean, or you had no idea at 17?
I was a boarding school product. So coming back to Bombay, I was a little...
Which boarding school?
I went to a school called Barnes. It's in a small, quaint town called Devlali. This is between...
Of course.
Nasik.
My friend Neil White is on the board. Anglo-Indian community.
Yes, Anglo-Indian
Devlali. I know it very well. Don't worry. And lots of famous names from Barnes in the old days. Dilip Kumar, am I right?
Yes.
Then boss, Brocha ko sab kuch pata hai. Don't call me an idiot just because I live in South Mumbai. But you are right.
Quite aware, having lived in Sobo.
It's beautiful. Like it's a really beautiful area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Growing up there is awesome.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful space, and we played lots of sports. Unlike usual kids in Bombay, they develop bigger thumbs playing video games. While
Yeah,
we
no, we'll
while we
show the
developed
kids.
some.
Yeah, exactly. Show the kids. They're right here. Rishi, his last game played in 1953.
Yeah.
Spurs, he plays with his guitar, if that's what he calls it. Euphemism for something. I don't know.
Yeah, we actually played sport.
But you guys have those. See, as a Mumbaiker, we don't have big schools, right?
Right.
If you're in Delhi, it's a little different. You get little space and all that. But in Mumbai, nothing. So you got in Deolali, you had huge space.
We had 390
I mean,
acres of open land.
That's so unfair. Yeah.
It's one of the biggest campuses in Maharashtra and one of the biggest campuses.
How can they waste
in
it
India,
on a
actually.
school? Yeah, they have to give that to South Mumbai. We need to take that. Rishi, say something. Yeah, terrible. Yeah. So you were an athlete, is it?
Was an decent athlete, played multiple disciplines, was a boxer from a really young age. From
Wow.
age of from class 5.
So
I
what do you
was
think of the film
boxing.
Aryan?
The film Aryan?
It's a boxing film.
Oh
Sohail
yeah,
Khan in the lead.
terrible actually.
I thought you took an awkward pause not to answer.
No, I was just trying to recollect what film this is.
yeah,
But we
yeah.
made some other decent films on boxing. I think
Which boxing film?
Tufan was nice with Farhan Akhtar. And,
okay. That's more
Mary Com
realistic.
attempted something with
Yeah.
uh,
Priyanka Chopra in the
Priyanka
lead.
Chopra in the
Yeah.
lead. But yeah, I mean, we've not really cracked the boxing films like.
Yeah. I think it's too melodramatic mostly also.
Actually, boxing.
Although
is-
Rocky 1 was so melodramatic when you think about it.
Boxing in India is only in certain disciplines, right? Only the army, railway, navy,
Marriage?
those
मैंने शादी किया या नहीं?
marriage to हाँ.
Wow, how can you not know this?
Boxing
As a
नहीं होता है ना,
welterweight
मैं तो
who's now a
मैं तो
middleweight.
अपना white towel लेके घूमता हूँ.
अच्छा. Oh, what is it? RSC, referee stops contest. Yes.
White towel लेके घूमता हूँ घर में.
So you were a decent boxer. And keep in mind, all these boarding schools had a tradition of all that. Not all the schools have
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah. Especially these Anglo-Indian schools like
Yeah,
Barnes
yeah.
has a very, very long tradition of boxing. In fact, Vinod Khanna's name is on the same board where I
Wow.
have my name. He was also one of the best boxers in school. And
Yeah.
when I
But you missed him by a couple of years, I think.
many years. But Vinod Saab was a very, very good boxer. Vinod Khanna was an
So
excellent
Vinod
boxer.
used to live next to us when he came back from America and all that. And he used to go to this club called WIA right there. So all the guys used to go to watch him play badminton.
Oh, okay.
That's how starstruck we were growing up. There's nobody around. Going back to Barnes, so what happens on the set right now? Well, now as a director, because you got this boxing instinct. Video doesn't listen to you. Is it like left, right, haymaker, hook? What? Huh?
No, I just.
Is he really tough? He's got this big physique and all that. He's a tough guy.
He is
Such bada.
he's a big guy, but he's very soft at heart. He's not one of
No
those.
contact sport.
He's not one of those. He's not one of those toughies who throws his weight around. In fact, he's pretty much got his head on his shoulders and pretty much connected to the earth, very grounded.
Well, you worked with
And-
him twice, so obviously it's a good relationship.
Yeah, it's a great jugalbandi we both have, and though we are friends, we just know how to maintain that thin line between director and actor, and it's always interesting, especially when you have no ego. Then it's easier to enjoy the creation with somebody else, right? So it's an egoless process for us, thankfully.
But going back to boxing in the early days, there, athlete more. So the films wouldn't have, being a director, writer, creator sort of thing, that wouldn't have been
So
really...
I was equally a part of my
Oh, you were?
debating society in school, and also we started doing Shakespeare very early in school.
Wow.
We used to have the annual school play, and I was one of the
Too
youngest.
educated for Bollywood, wasting his time.
So yeah, Shakespeare is somebody I got very, very fascinated from a very young age and started getting involved in school plays. Was one of the youngest.
Favorite
kids.
play?
Sorry?
Favorite Shakespearean play?
Favorite Shakespearean play, that's always tough because I like so much of Shakespeare's works, but play, I think Macbeth was our most
You're not supposed to
dramatic.
say the name, right?
Uh,
Just bring bad luck for actors and all. Never say the name. It's a plays.
Really?
Yeah, it's like, what's that, Voldemort? No, what's the guy in Harry Potter? You don't see the name.
Oh, okay.
I learned this tradition in England. It's a little scary. They take it very seriously there.
All right.
It just brings the superstitions. You don't say the name of
Never heard this
that
one.
play. Yeah.
Oh, never heard
Yeah.
this one.
Oh, wow. Excellent. But I was so this is very interesting. So you had this, what is it, dichotomy or this?
In
this-
fact, I got my first job with Aziz Mirza only because of my knowledge of Shakespeare. Because when I walked into the office, he looked at me and he said, "What are you doing here, bache?" And I said, "Sir, I've come to look for the director. I've come to look for work." He's like, "How old are you?" I said, "I'm 70." He's like, "Go study, complete your graduation and come back." I said, "No, I want to work. I'm not going to." But he was very taken in when I said, "No, I'm not going to be studying. I want to work." And so he was like, "What do you know about cinema?" I said, "I don't know anything about cinema, but I know something about Shakespeare." So he paused. He said, "Acha, he took my test. What do you know about Shakespeare?"
Why do you
And
throw
I
Shakespeare? But
I didn't know what
like
else
name
to.
dropping and you'll upset
Yeah,
him.
yeah. It's like
uh.
I'm taking Shakespeare's name like he's my buddy.
Exactly, mera
Yeah,
chacha.
family friend.
Yeah.
Daddy के दोस्त थे.
Yeah. Every Sunday,
हाँ, मैं
William used to come
शेक्सपियर
over.
हाँ, विलियम जी को जानता हूँ मैं, आते थे घर पे. शेक्सपियरियन तरीके से बहुत सारी चीजें बताते
Did you
थे.
break into that? Well, Aziz, in sooth, I must share with you.
No, but he kind of
So he
somehow
tested you, huh?
he kind of tested me, and he liked the fact, he liked my enthusiasm on Shakespearean literature.
I think he hadn't heard the word Shakespeare in Bollywood for a long time. He was just so happy when he told the wife, "Yaar, ek banda ko mila." Finally, yeah.
वो प्रेमचंद नहीं हो Shakespeare.
Yeah.
But then that started the fondness for languages, the fondness for literature, and then became a very avid reader for the rest of my life. So all my education really, or knowledge, comes from, of course, my life's own experiences, observations, but also from the books that I read, because I'm not academically even a 12th pass, so to speak, how they say.
Yeah, but I'm not a big fan of formal education beyond a point. I think honestly, people are just doing it. So many people just learn and they don't remember a thing. This is pointless learning.
Yeah,
also,
I mean, in all humility, I have MBAs and CAs working for me right now. So
wow, that's arrogant.
No,
yeah, but
not at all.
मैंने कुछ नहीं किया.
Formal education didn't really.
Sir, I have double MBA. Go wash the floor. Yeah. No, but don't you think so? Like, we make kids study, and beyond a point, they're not really. I mean, until you get some passion into the studying and you're really interested in it, what is the point?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't
Primary
understand
education, okay,
why
up
I
to
had
point.
to understand so much about chemistry when
Exactly.
I just didn't know what
When
I'm
the
going to
girls
do
weren't
with
going to do anything with you anyway. No, yeah,
that's the only
exactly.
chemistry I
Calculus and things
understood.
like that. I don't
Human
remember a
chemistry.
word.
Yeah.
What is it? Sine, cosa, ten, whatever those things were. It's all gone out of my head, man. So I used to think, why are we doing
I've
this?
not even heard those words.
It'll come back to you. It's like logarithms and those. I don't remember them myself, but I'm saying we learn them and we're struggling with them and we just hate them.
Yeah,
we can't identify with them. Also, I think after a point you should let 12-year-olds or 13-year-olds just study what they like.
I think and
you get some response. Like if you were studying Shakespeare, you'd have been fantastic. That's all you do. Right?
Yeah. Specialized.
I'd have studied human sexuality among seniors, which is
my
thing.
Like abroad, there's a concept where kids take a break here. Like parents actually tell them,
the gap year,
the gap year, that this is the year you intern in 3-4 different disciplines, see what you actually like, and
life bhi ek cheez hai, bhai. You should have some growth in life. You can't just not to knock studying. I'm just saying that it should be more voluntary, but then you'll get better results from people.
Yeah.
Like if a young Faruk, if I was the guidance counselor, I'd be like, let's put him in with the literature, the arts, whatever, maybe sports, and then you'll be a different guy altogether.
Yeah, and specialize in that.
And you will be academics because your marks will be great. Because that's exactly.
Yeah.
Force you to do logarithms and all these things.
I in fact like the fact that now India is producing some good sports talent after quite a few years now. Like now,
better than before, I suppose.
Yeah,
1.3 billion, it should be a little better than that. I mean, look at our football situation.
Yeah, but the Commonwealth Games, it's still a positive sign.
That's the lowest form of sport. It's like 6 teams. And like people in Australia don't even send the full team. Okay, it's not bad. But let's not. It's just Neeraj Chopra at the moment.
No,
one gold medal.
There's
in Olympics.
There's Nikhat Zareen. There's so many.
I'll give her
boxers.
that. I'll give Nikhat Zareen, but she's the world champion as well.
Yeah.
So that's different.
So many other boxers.
You know your boxing.
And judo.
Very good.
Judo guys.
Should I test your boxing?
Yeah.
International boxing. So who's your top 5 boxers of all time? Who would be your top 5? I'd love to hear.
Top 5 boxers of all time. Definitely Muhammad Ali is.
You put him in top 5 as a boxer. We're talking about as an icon.
As a boxer.
Pure boxing skill.
As a boxer, pure boxing skill. In our.
I'm saying any weight category. Both the Sugar Rays, Robinson, Leonard, Marvin Hagler.
Both were great.
Joe Louis.
Jack
Johnson,
is also in my list.
Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson is also.
Tyson Fury would also be up there.
Tyson Fury is also up there.
But you put Muhammad Ali number 1.
I put Muhammad Ali number 1 because you know what? In our school back in the day, we also have an award called the Best Loser. It's still an award in boxing. It's given to the person who won the match with the smallest margin.
Right.
Who put up the best fight, but still lost. That's the award given to the best loser. Coming to Muhammad Ali, I just felt like his defense was so good, and the way he didn't let him get that part of that scientific part of boxing.
No, I'll give that. He dictated the fight by keeping them away from him, and
and he went all the 15 rounds most often on will.
And never stopped talking.
On will, yeah.
So Floyd Mayweather, you would rank on top.
Floyd Mayweather,
defensive boxer again,
is my contemporary most favorite boxer.
Yeah.
I also like the Spanish
Lennox?
boxer. No,
Oh, Oscar de la Hoya.
not Oscar de la Hoya.
Uh,
The one whose his name's just slipping out of my mind.
oh, Roberto Duran.
No.
That's
The
fabulous.
Spanish boxer with the gold hair,
Oh.
slightly golden hair. He just recently also.
You're talking MMA?
No.
Proper boxing, no?
Yeah.
Okay,
Uh,
we'll
Canola, no.
it'll come back.
His
It'll
name's
come. If
just
anybody
slipped
out
out of
here
my-
speaks Spanish, please send us the name as quickly as possible. Espanol. Yeah. So top 5, very interesting. Lennox Lewis?
Lennox Lewis.
He beat everybody. He beat everyone for
No, I
few
never
years.
liked
You won't
him.
put him on top.
Never liked him.
Yeah.
Canelo, yeah, Alvarez.
Alvarez, yes.
Alvarez, I really like. Again, very technically superior boxer and reminds me of our school days somehow. Like just
Because they look like Indian boys.
no, just still shorter maybe,
Yeah.
and just more of that Indian sense of a physique. And but school boxing was a great discipline. Gave us a lot of character. I feel. I think most people think boxing is about two people getting inside the ring and beating the shit out of each other, not really realizing what a mindful and
What a
scientific
tiring sport it is. Try
Very
boxing
tiring.
for one round. Forget 5 or 3.
One round,
One round. I
One
remember
round feels
whatever
like
we did.
3 hours.
Your arms are gone, your shoulders are gone, your back is gone, and you don't want to lift your hand after
Do you
that.
know where the punch, where the power of a punch
Stomach,
actually
yeah.
lies? No,
From the abs,
the
the
legs.
core. Yeah.
The legs,
Yeah.
because the first thing you hook is your legs, and that
Yeah.
entire energy goes up from behind into your lower back, upper back, shoulders. I'm
They
sure you
say
were a
this-
boxer
they
also
say
in Bombay.
well, box, but I wouldn't call myself a boxer. But they say in batting also, when you want to hit the ball really hard, the guys with strong hamstrings, they take the ball from below.
Yeah,
If you see like Adam Gilchrist,
Yeah.
MS Dhoni, the way
Yeah.
they bat, it's
Yeah.
always coming from
Yeah.
low to up,
yeah.
that kind of thing.
Like they say, the power lies in the hips,
Yeah.
but yeah, the hips really get
Even the
triggered.
javelin, it comes from his hams,
Yeah,
where he starts to throw.
Yeah.
Wow. So we've descended into sports. Why did you do this? It was supposed to be a life story and movies and videos and all that. But
Well, sports is a part of life.
it's so interesting that people have such interesting parts to them we don't know because you become famous as a filmmaker and
Yeah.
then they only think of you like I would never think I'd be talking boxing with you here, which
Yeah.
is for me
Yeah.
far more exciting
Yeah,
to listen.
I think it's the only thing that gave me so much discipline in life.
Yeah,
I
so
still carry that
it
discipline.
is a spiritual
in me.
connection. I can see
Yeah,
that, and,
yeah,
and why
it's-
not?
Still carry that discipline
Yeah,
in me.
yeah, fair enough. What do you think of this new wave? Last thing, then we'll get back to your life quickly. This new wave thing of these internet stars trying to box, like the Logan Paul and Jake Paul, challenging people and calling them out. The whole idea of going up the ranks in boxing is getting turned on its head because this is larger than life and people want to see it. Although his 2 fights got cancelled, Jake Paul.
Yeah.
But it's
Mm.
you become a
Yeah.
sensation overnight because you're followers and you box a little.
Yeah, I think the true test is in the ring, no. So once if somebody is asking for it, I think a champion should take on anyone. So
that Conor McGregor fight with, although they were only boxing with Floyd,
Conor McGregor is a sham as far as boxing is concerned.
you think?
Yeah.
But he was over the hill by the time he boxed, as in both were.
I mean, so is
Floyd, yeah.
So is Floyd
Yeah.
over the hill.
But he didn't knock
more
him
than
out.
over-
I saw the fight and it was like
yeah, he didn't
he
knock
was
him.
in control, but you would think if it was Cassius,
Yeah, it
Muhammad
was.
Ali,
Yeah, it wasn't, but still, like you said, he was over the hill. He's fighting at 41
Yeah.
and taking up the fight. And actually, I think that just shows his astute confidence in his skill that
never lost.
he never lost, and he took this guy on. So though this guy is very, very McGregor is could be very unorthodox
Yeah,
and erratic
One punch,
as a boxer.
one
yeah.
punch wonder kind of thing would have happened.
Yeah. And he was known for his punches.
Yeah.
Before,
I
of
think the pressure would
course,
be on you as a boxer if the other guy's got that one punch thing.
I'm all for Khabib.
Oh, he's superb.
Habib.
I love that guy. He's fantastic. Yeah, fabulous. Okay, let's not descend into MMA. I'll get fired because we have to talk about your life. So, you're Filmi Dil Hai Hindustani. You were working with Aziz and then
Ashoka.
Oh, you
with
worked on
Santosh
Ashoka.
Sivam, yeah.
Oh.
Did 2 films only as an AD.
Huh.
Took my self to New
My
York.
memory of Santosh Sivan is he comes on time and shoots on time, which is just wonderful.
Yeah, he finishes on time too.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
It's just beautiful.
Amazing discipline. I like this whole. So that was very good kind of exposure for me working with him, because again, it's about discipline and focus, and my friends from South India are known for their sense of timing and discipline. So
Yeah.
I like that it rubbed off nicely on
Did Shah Rukh know you can box? You ever get to
Uh,
talk to him? You have to stay your distance as an AD and all that.
no, in fact, I was one of his favorites because our names kind of
Shahrukh,
Shahrukh
Farooq,
Faruk.
Farooq, Shahrukh.
So a lot
I
of
mean, I can imagine the older
so a
guys.
lot of times
Ah,
Aziz
kisko
Mirza.
bulaya?
Yeah, that actually happened many times. Aziz Saab used to say Shahrukh,
And
and I
bring
used
poor
to
Shahrukh.
turn
No,
around
the
and
other way is funnier. They bring Shahrukh on the side. He said, "No, Farooq ko bulao." Yeah. So it was cool.
yeah, it's very
He's also
cool.
a sports
Shahrukh's
loving guy. So I'm thinking if you got time to bond with him, he would have, people like sports
he's
immediately.
always so energetic, feels like
Yeah.
he's always onto something. So
He's
he's
also,
great.
he's
He's a
got good
great.
karma. He's always nice. I've noticed on sets he's just nice. He's
He's
a
a
nice guy.
gracious. Shah
Yeah.
Rukh Khan is a gracious
Always
person.
ready to laugh and all that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Shahrukh, come on the show. See, we've said nice things. We're not like those others. Not to mention names. Yeah. Okay. So then when did you take the full plunge? I mean, it couldn't have been easy. You're a guy from Barn School and all that. No,
Yeah.
Godfather and
Yeah,
Cop
no,
and all that.
no, none of that. So just did two films, realized that writing is everything, and that both those films I had worked on didn't really do well. So I wondered why they didn't do well because they had everything going for them.
Did Ashok do well?
No, Ashok also didn't really do well at the box office, and didn't kind of get that kind of acclaim that we were hoping.
Wrong government was in charge. This one would have pushed it.
Well, don't know about that. Cyrus.
Avoid the blow. Avoid. Just keep avoiding.
Yeah.
Do a Floyd. Do a Floyd.
Yeah. So yeah, kind of realized that writing was everything more or less, and that if I was able to concentrate and become a writer and a storyteller, then I would have something to offer and maybe have a future in cinema. Otherwise, what else would I have to offer as a director if I didn't even have a story to offer? So kind of concentrated a lot on writing, taught myself the craft, went to New York, studied screenwriting,
Oh yeah, that's there.
came back, continued to write,
Quick one on New York Film Academy.
Yeah, just for writing. It was good exposure. I was already coming from a sense of practical knowledge, having worked on sets, so it worked better for me. It kind of, I think, also visually and the writing and the sense of uh, visual imagination both kind of was happening
Also, it's a
together.
different thing when you write and make, in a sense, right?
Yeah,
Because that
yeah.
makes you.
Sometimes I
you're like a
interpret
mother.
my own material differently as a director
Absolutely.
than when I have written it.
That's fascinating.
So I write stories, screenplay, dialogue, everything. Sari.
So it's also you've taken a break. You've written it. It's there, and then you from the perspective change because you're taking a break while you're putting it all together.
Yes.
Then you relook at it. So
Yes.
it's almost like you're looking from outside. You're
Yeah,
objective
yeah,
about it
yeah.
in a sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's a great process. That's the same I am with editing also. I don't step into my editing room till my editor.
So you don't have that plan thing.
No.
It's more like streams of consciousness. I'll come and I'll watch and I'll see what hits me.
No, everything is planned, but the thing is, you also have to learn to be detached with your material, right? Thankfully, I'm not very attached with my material. I can step back.
Welcome. Right place. Ain't got no pride in this show. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think just as filmmakers, you need to be detached with your own material and let. So, for instance, to give you an example of that, when for Khuda Haafiz Chapter 2 also, just as an example, I do this with every project. I don't step into my editing room till the editor has not completely finished his cut.
But then,
For 2 months. I give 2 months to my editor to edit, do whatever he wants to with the film.
but the interpretation could be completely not what you thought.
It's okay. Let's put that to test.
Then it look like but then it look like
But
you're
it
correcting
doesn't
him.
happen
The whole
like
thing
that
is like,
because the
yeah.
screenplay is done over 6 to 7 months. I'm
Mhm.
a serious writer in that sense, as in I've clocked about 9 to 10,000 hours writing so far in my life. So my screenplays are pretty solid.
Shakespeare really left his effect. It looks like he himself at 8,000.
Yeah.
ये बंदा तो आगे गया. You stopped at what? Macbeth. Oh, I shouldn't say the name. Huh? Fascinating. But what's good? You're talking about being flexible, which I understand, but I can't understand the fact that you're allowing yourself to sort of critique yourself in a sense.
Yeah, I think it's I thankfully have that.
This is only you. You're not
sense
taking
of
5 people into a corner, family, friends, and all that. It's just you.
nothing.
You come back, you look at the whole process again.
Absolutely. I don't really ask too much of opinion because jitne muh utni baatein, jitne sar utni soch. So
Wow.
you don't get
Again, Macbeth. Check it. Chapter Act 2, Scene 1. Huh?
don't get into that space. I give my why am I hiring somebody? Because I trust that they can do their job hopefully better than I can do that particular job. So I trust my editor in that sense. I was just on a call with him strangely some time back, and I let him create the edit after he's read the entire script. He has the whole script. And I'm a precision filmmaker. So, in the sense that I'm slightly a guerrilla filmmaker, I go in very precisely and shoot exactly what I want. There's no coverage happening here. I'm not shooting one thing from all
You don't
necessarily
use that word
angles.
safety, I hope.
There is no
I
safety.
can't understand that. What is safety?
It's
Like, you
some
take a
bullshit
chance and
jargon.
yeah, it's a marketplace
एक
then.
safety का
एक
एक safety
करते हैं.
shot
एक
लेते
बार
हैं.
और, एक बार और.
Safety क्या है? Do you know it's working or you
Exactly.
don't? What
Thank
the hell
you.
does safety
Thank
mean?
you. Faruk Kabir telling the truth. Why need
There is
people listening?
the
Stop with the
safety shot
safety.
is just your own doubt in your
Yeah,
you're second guessing yourself.
exactly.
No, I shoot fast. Anybody who knows me and who's shot with me knows I shoot at really at
You think it's
breakneck
because you're
speed.
Aziz and Santosh even first stop they were good.
They were pretty lazy with yeah.
Uh-huh.
I kind of learned from them partly what not to do and
So it
how
works-
not to
it
spend
works-
so much money
It works both
and have
ways.
discussions for half an hour on
Yeah,
set.
yeah,
How should
yeah.
we take this shot? No, sir. We are moving on.
See, but that's an interesting point because I totally accept, especially in advertising, you see that a lot. But then when the hero starts interfering, I'm not taking names, then what do you do there? Because in India, unfortunately, the hero does hold.
I think with every actor, especially your hero, you have to be able to have the uncomfortable conversations with them comfortably very early on in your relationship with them, so that the boundaries are drawn. It's very important to draw those
Two
boundaries.
words: action and cut. In between, he's not supposed to bother you. Yeah.
Yeah, ask me something that is relevant enough. But yeah, I mean, see, everything is a jugalbandi, but after a point, no, filmmaking is such a process where you need everybody else to step
need a
back
captain.
and let the director. Yeah.
You can't not have a captain. It's not a democratic process. I agree with you totally.
Yeah, till a point
people,
it's democratic, but
Yeah,
after a
no,
point it
it's
needs to
not.
be a one-man
it's
vision. that-
democratic in the sense that you don't want to abuse people on a set. But at the end of the day, it's your vision. You wrote the damn story. You made the thing. You chose everybody who's sitting there. Almost everyone is there out of your.
in this case, yeah,
uh,
also because I've written the
yeah,
story.
exactly.
So, yeah,
Yeah,
lived every character.
I'm
and-
specifically talking about people like you, which are not that many who write, and the whole thing
Yeah.
is you, right? So I can understand. We have to fast forward because we have to take a break in about 5 minutes. Then what is the next big film?
So my first feature film, I started with directing music videos, documentaries.
Yeah.
I shot a documentary called The Unheard Voices of the People of India, Hindustan ke aam aadmi ki ankahi unsuni
Bahut
awaaz. We traveled 27,000 kilometers. Allah Ke Bande was my first feature film.
That made waves, yeah.
Yeah, did some ad film work after that. Made a film called 377 Abnormal, which is on the LGBTQ community and the,
I shouldn't have laughed. I'm sorry.
and
This is a wrong reaction. Yeah.
no, that film did really well.
Yeah.
377 Abnormal, and it was actually on the journey of some of the petitioners from the LGBTQ community who petitioned the courts in India over 17 long years to decriminalize homosexuality. So the next time, Cyrus, you're walking with a man on the road with your
Always.
with your hands held with him and giving him a hug, nobody's going to really arrest you. It's
Sir,
because of some of these petitioners. who
कैसा
fought-
बात करते हैं सर? तेरा नाम भी है Faruk and Kabir. People think they're two of you. Firstly. No, I was arguing. We have Naveen, who's closer to this whole cause thing, and you're still not allowed to marry. So I was under the impression
Yeah.
people should clarify.
Yeah.
377 means it's not criminal to have sexual relations.
It's not criminal to
Physical
live in with a
okay.
man living in with another man or
Right.
holding hands. It was earlier called the Buggery Act. You know,
Ah.
this slang bugger off,
Victoria,
which you use
Victorian,
laws.
yeah.
Yeah, one of your forefathers, King Henry, it came from there.
बस आधा घंटा लगा आधा घंटे में मेरी तो respect गया completely ना you count on the clock 28 minutes
Henry
22
V,
seconds.
one of your
There you go, there
Anglo-Indian
you go.
forefathers.
Almost Panchvi. Although you look more Parsi than anyone I've ever met. Yeah, be very careful. You have to check your forefathers, Henry, Harry. So that again, interesting topics that you chose as well.
Yeah.
And nobody talks that whole
Allah
fight.
Ke Bande was on juvenile crime.
Yeah.
377
Some great
was
music as well.
377 was on the historic journey of the LGBTQ community in India. Khuda Haafiz 1 was inspired by a true life story that I had read in a Times of India headlines article, really about a man who lost his wife in the flesh trade in the economic downturn of 2008 and then ends up going to find her. And then, of course, chapter 2 is primarily based and takes up rape in a big way in our country. Yeah.
Obviously not shying from the big topics. There's only one left, but that we won't discuss right now. That film I will make about Hum Sab Ek Hai. Then there's a web series.
Yeah, there's a web series called Hello Mini. It was on MX Player. Again, a very voyeuristic show. When the script came to me, it was Applause series, and the script came to me, I was like, wow, this is very sexual in nature. I don't think I'm going to be able to, do this. But then,
What is it with OTT and sexual?
no,
It's
strange,
almost like they-
yeah, but strangely enough, at that time, another thing I thought was that I said we are a very voyeuristic society. That's
100%.
why Big Boss is such a big hit in our country. And I had never watched a single episode. I actually sat and watched one episode of Big Boss, and I was like, yeah, okay, I get it now. So again, Hello Mini was made in a very voyeuristic sense. I kind of catered to that sense of voyeurism and us of wanting to peep into other people's lives and see what the hell is happening.
I have to
And it
confess,
did
I also
extremely
do
well.
watch Big Boss from time to time, and it's the same problem. You can't believe you're watching it. It's like page 3. You can't believe you're reading it after 3 minutes, but you're reading it. She left him for a 17-year-old, whatever. You can't believe it. But yeah, that's life. So Macbeth is a long way off
Yeah,
when you're doing that. Yeah. But as a young boxer, you have to fight whoever's in front of you. It's like that.
yeah.
Cool. So is there something coming up now?
Yeah, there's the two scripts on the table. One is a film that's I've written, that's being made by Surya, the star from down south.
Yeah.
He's kind of doing that film in Tamil with another
Wow.
director. I've written that film, and hopefully the Hindi version of
Finally, a Hindi film is being made into a South Indian film.
Yes.
After 40 years of us copying South Indian film, finally you reversed it.
Yes.
Thank God, yeah.
And hopefully the Hindi version of that film is something I'm going to be doing.
So we still have to make it. So you just have the script.
The Tamil version is being made by
So
them.
we go back to the Tamil guys winning again. Because they make it first, and then even though it's your script originally. Yeah.
Yeah. Somewhere like that.
Would you work with Aziz and Santosh again?
As what?
I don't know if they work with you in some capacity. Obviously, I understand this.
Yeah,
you're a full-fledged
Santosh.
director,
Yeah,
but
of course. I mean, Santosh.
Santosh could work as camera.
Yeah, Cheta is really nice, and I'm very, very fond of him.
Yeah.
Have deep regard for his body of work.
Yeah.
And yeah,
remember we did a North Star ad, okay, which had Madhavan, no, all struggling actors and models. No, Madhavan was there, and there was a Kashmiri boy who became famous as well. Oh damn, not with you. It'll come back to me. So we were there, and we were running around somewhere in Navi Mumbai with the North Star shoes. Those are the shots, and we could never find Santosh Sivan because he finishes the shot, he ran off with the camera. So I thought everybody was my first thing. I thought everyone was like that. Next thing you shoot, they don't move. Nobody moves. It just goes on, waiting. Chai pila do. Sochne de. What is going on? Score kya hai? Back to normal. So he was just keep running away, and they had to all find him with no mobile phones. They were all searching for Santosh in the open areas of Navi Mumbai.
He must be just thinking, idiots.
Yeah,
Guys.
that is great.
They've gone on to set his next shot.
And they treat everyone the same. It's very egalitarian, so you don't even know.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have to take a quick break. I don't even know if Silvery, our main producer, has come in. For you, sir, we have got an extra.
It's her VIP movement that's going on.
Her to nahi hai.
Hai.
377 ke baad sochna padega, but yes, I mean, jo bhi hai, let's say them is cool. Them is good. So we take a break. Faruk Kabir is with us, artist and boxer. Director, writer, but above all boxer, which we have unearthed. Not everybody knows about this, but I'm sure once this gets out, people will be very interested in that part, and actors will come on time. Sir is champion. All right, break.
Hello, everybody. It's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On Advertising is Dead, It's All Business, Varun is joined by Anurag Jain, co-founder of Clubworks. He takes us on his entrepreneurial journey and his approach to revenue-based finance. On Don't Baika Gappa Aika, Avanti and Aparna discuss why the younger generation is more inclined towards live-in relationships. On Varta Lab, Akash and Naveen share some hilarious stories with their guest, stand-up comedian Aditi Mittal. On A Sip of Finance, Priyanka gives a perfect checklist to refer to when buying health insurance. And on Think Fast, Varun and Sachita talk about crypto firms being accused of money laundering. Once again, I'd like to remind you all, please do check out our merch. It's available on IVM Podcast website. Go click the shop tab and you'll be able to see our first collections of t-shirts. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Remember, we got a bunch of YouTube channels as well. And if you want to check that out, go to our website, ivmpodcast.com/YouTube. We have a list of all those channels. And remember, do tell a friend if you're enjoying this show or any of our other shows for that matter. Word of mouth is one of the most important and best ways for us to get the word out about this podcast. Also, it's a way for you to have discussions about a podcast with your friends. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Boat Lifestyle, Checkpoint Software, Small Case, and Intel vPro. Thank you so much for making this possible.
just discussing young girls. I don't know why that topic came out, but I guess, I mean, as an artist, it's important.
Yes, of
Silvery
course.
has joined us.
Oh man, the
Silvery,
traffic.
such batao, because now the people think we rant about these things for
No,
nothing.
not at all.
Because Faruk has suffered.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
we know he's telling
Correct.
the truth because now you've also suffered.
Dude, I was, for the first time ever, I got stuck on traffic on Airport Road. Airport Road was jam packed. You couldn't move an inch
Two
on
words.
Airport Road.
VIP movement, it has to be.
God damn it, dude. Yeah, it has to. What else could it be? I'm just so
We
pissed
should
off.
have a
and
national
irritated.
holiday where we're
at the
allowed to pick
traffic
up the
moment.
VIP and put him in a dustbin.
Absolutely.
We must be allowed as a people.
I think one day should be VIP common day, as in where
Yeah.
just the common man can go as VIP.
As a VIP.
Yeah,
Oh,
nice,
that'd be great.
nice,
Yeah,
nice.
like you get 1 day a year. Every person gets 1 day a year.
It's
They do-
ridiculous. It's
That's
perverse now. It's just
Yeah.
out of
Har
control.
ghar ek VIP.
At last, the tiger is coming out. Shabash. Well done.
Oh,
But
God.
no, just think back to we had the Maldives president, remember? For the Maldives president for 4 days, they screwed up
Maldives
yeah,
is-
correct. Yeah, I
Western
remember,
Express for 1 day, South Bombay
Correct.
for 4 days in a row.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and
Maldives
I-
has its own president.
That's exactly my point. I didn't want to sound like a classist or
The
something. And I
Indian
said,
Prime Minister.
it's not US or Russia or something. I mean, it's Maldives. We all have to stand at attention for 6 hours.
Yeah.
What do they bring to the table at the end of the day? I mean, due respect.
They bring such good Instagram pictures to
Ah,
us every day.
wo big
Correct.
cheez hai, yeah.
Where else do celebrities go?
Yeah,
No,
especially now we got tomato flu coming.
Correct.
From what I gather,
Yes.
you heard about
All the
this?
weddings.
There's a new thing called tomato flu. It's now
I heard of some
Monkeypox.
monkeypox. So the market is open after COVID. We need things. Yeah. What's the next big success going to be? So this tomato
Big
flu. is-
pharma needs
Yeah,
big
correct.
names.
I'm giving you scripts, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very possible that they just keep manufacturing pandemics after this, right? Because
Yeah.
they want us
I
to
think
be dependent
big
on
pharma is now going to focus more on creating more viruses.
More
Don't worry,
viruses, yes,
Urban
that's-
India is ready. You
it's
just
just
half
where the
suggest
money
to
is.
them and they'll go back home. Just have to say,
Correct.
danger, Khasi, go.
Absolutely, yes.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah, correct. Faruk,
So-
I'm a fellow boarding schoolite.
Oh wow!
I was in Panchgani in Sanjivan Vidyalaya,
Oh wow!
and we
The poor
had-
man's barns.
I know,
Yeah.
I know Sanjeev.
Oh, you know Sanjivan
Of course,
Vidyalaya?
right next to Peter's, right?
Right, exactly, right next to
Yeah,
St.
Okay,
yeah,
that sounds
This is-
vulgar, yeah.
Because we used to come to Peter's to play football. We used to kick their ass and
Oh,
it
okay.
was cool.
And
Okay,
our school
let-
used to watch.
Let me put
We
it.
used to
Let
watch.
me
We
put
wanted
it
you
in
invited.
perspective.
Yes.
He's the athlete jock of the school,
Yes, of course.
boxer, footballer, and all.
Yeah.
Silvery was.
I was in
the
table
guy
tennis.
who wasn't allowed to shower.
Hey,
Yeah.
that table tennis story of that guy, that 40-year-old, what's his name?
Sharad Kamal. Yeah.
Sharad Kamal.
Wow. 41 actually, yeah.
Wow.
Fantastic. Yeah. But again, Commonwealth. I'm not taking anything away from
Come
him.
on,
Let's say the
like,
world's
come
going on now.
on.
World's going on. We'll see. No, I'm just saying. I'm happy.
Commonwealth.
I sound bad, but I don't mean it that way. I'm just saying, just put in perspective.
Yeah,
But you're right.
Yeah,
He's 41 and from out of nowhere. They played really well. He doesn't like sports, yeah.
No,
Yeah,
that's fine. I'm okay
Yeah.
with
video
sports.
games.
These
Sure.
are these are small balls, ping pong.
Oh, yeah, table tennis. I'm aware. But yeah, so so this is like a contention I have with all boarding schools. How was the mess food in your boarding school? Because ours was
Everything that
Terrible.
everything that I ate in that mess, I don't eat again now in my life.
What's
I
Anglo
hate vada paos and poha because of the mess
I
food.
hate boiled
Mama.
eggs because of school.
Oh man, I totally get this. I relate 100%.
I hate porridge.
I think I
and
should
kalyani
leave.
because of
You
I
should
should
school.
never
leave. The bonding is too much. Boarding school ke bande.
man.
Look what we've created.
Terrible.
Oh,
Boarding school is the worst.
yeah,
I
but-
wanted to ask.
but I told you
you
do
were-
that in your stand-up, right? Because you've spoken to every boarding school
Yeah.
guy you've met,
Exactly.
and you bonded over the fact that the food sucked.
The food
North, south,
always
east, or west,
sucks.
wherever the boarding school
Yes.
is,
But
famous.
we started in a co-ed actually.
We also had a co-ed.
Oh really?
Yeah, St. Peter's is.
Doesn't look like that looking at you.
yeah. Nice. See, he saw a junior from
great.
boarding school
Yeah,
and immediately goes into
bully.
rag, rag
Rag.
mode immediately. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, we did get bullied. We got hit by teachers. By our teachers. Did you ever get hit by teachers?
In fact, our vice principal, he used to give us the choice of 3 different canes.
Oh,
One was a thick one was a semi-thick one, and one was the really light one. And any new boy, we used to say, hey,
But these canes
pick
were.
up the thin one.
oh, that hurt.
That's the one used
That's
to
the worst.
really
Yeah, God.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the way he's saying it, he's enjoying it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
we used to-
Shahrukh comes late on the
Yeah.
set. Shahrukh, we have 3 canes. Do you have the guts, Farukh? Vidyut, come on, he's young. Have you ever shouted at Vidyut?
Didn't need to. He's so disciplined.
Yeah.
He always brings so much respect and discipline to the process of filmmaking. When you look at him, you feel like he's just an action star.
I don't think you can
There's
last.
so much more to him
Farukh,
than just being an action
you won't last
star.
in IVM because you're used to disciplined people. You come here and work for 1 day. Our producer came 42 minutes late.
Yeah,
Blame
that's true.
VIP
I
movement.
can't even deny.
Guest came on time still, huh?
Yes,
by the
correct.
way.
Yeah, sure. What was shooting that the jail rains fight
Yeah,
scene like?
yeah.
Because there was a lot of moving pieces. It was quite a long scene also.
Yeah.
And I've heard Vidyu does most of his own action at his fighting.
Does all
Is that
his own
true?
stunts. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
We'll never know, na? It's like in
No,
Gulam, they said Amir
so
Khan
well
did
trained
it,
and all, man.
There's all
Huh?
BTS,
Definitely.
all the BTS of the film is
Yeah.
out there
Okay.
for you to see. The reason why he doesn't use other stunt people is because he feels he has a responsibility towards his audience, and if the body double doesn't do it as much finesse like he would do it, that's
Ah.
his
Okay, now
bonus.
it's like that Tom Cruise story. So what I don't understand is a lot of money rides on these guys. So why would you take a chance?
It's all measured. It's all measured. It's all very technical. Action is a very technical thing to shoot, as much as it doesn't feel like that. And of course, coming back to the prison action sequence,
Absolutely,
it's
yeah.
almost kind of, I get the feeling with the feedback I get, it's almost becoming like an iconic sequence.
Absolutely, dude. Oh,
And
what an amazing, intense,
Yeah,
crazy
that was the
choreographed
first
scene.
thing we shot in the schedule.
Are he's just
Yeah.
trying to keep the
Wow.
senior happy.
Yeah.
No, be careful.
Not at all.
Put
This is
Darya.
a great fighting sequence.
Oh.
One of the
Yeah,
best,
it's pretty
I would say.
raw and intense, and yeah. So
Absolutely.
I had a blast shooting that. We had a great time. I enjoy what I do.
And also,
so-
I imagine because if the actor does his own stunts, you can show the face a lot more. You don't have to hide the face.
Yeah,
that's a
true
huge
that,
advantage.
True that.
Definitely.
None of those cheating kind of shots
Exactly.
necessarily.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was hardcore. They were in the sand. They were in constant rain, and
Exactly.
again the action is so real, so raw.
Amazing.
So you
Also,
need to feel the punch.
If he's an action star, the ego involved also. That's why he has to really come through.
Absolutely, yeah.
In a sense, he's got to prove himself in a sense every time.
Yeah, it's
Like
good
more
help.
kill count, like higher the kill count.
No, I
every
remember
movie.
first time we spoke to Akshay Kumar.
Yeah.
We started chatting about his action sequences, and that's when he woke up.
Oh wow.
Till then, he was quite
that's
bored with the Khiladi story, which of course is quite predictable, so fair enough. And people ask the same question. We're talking about a specific action sequence, something on a helicopter and all. Then his whole voice changed. You know, like how we discussed boxing, and both of us just woke up immediately. You know, it's like you can see the passion in the thing. Yeah.
What do you think of Liger? The boxing movie that's coming. That's a boxing movie or UFC movie? Boxing,
I
right?
don't really know. It's
The
I think
Vijay Deverakonda.
MMA,
It's got Mike
right?
Tyson in a cameo. So
Yeah,
Mike
that's
Tyson
a big
cameo.
deal.
It's mixed
Yeah.
martial arts, no?
Mixed martial arts.
Yeah,
Seems
but
like that.
Yeah.
oh,
But Liger, the animal is a very passive animal. They've bred many of them. They get bigger than a tiger or a lion.
okay.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, not a very hostile animal. They're very
Okay.
passive for some reason.
So a theory going around for the movie is that Mike Tyson is Vijay Deverakonda's father in the movie. Because so
it's hard.
tiger, he's Mike Tyson is a tiger, right?
Yeah.
If the mother is like the character of a lioness or of some sort metaphorically, then this guy would be a lioness's and a tiger's son, so Liger, and that's the theory going around.
Oh,
I don't know if
right.
it's true or
So
not.
Mike Tyson married an Indian or had,
Yeah.
had
Well, no,
sexual
Mary.
intercourse-
Mary is gone.
Sexual intercourse with an
An Indian
Indian
lion.
woman.
Galti se,
and-
galti se. You have to use the right.
Galti se.
Yeah. So yeah, times are changing, man. Times are great.
But I find him now. We'll segue back to boxing. This avatar of him as this guy doing podcasts and all is fascinating, right? It's so different from the brutal Mike Tyson that we grew up with in 86 to 89.
That's true. That's
that
true.
guy just you want to be
Seems-
close to him, and now he's this
yeah.
friendly, funny guy.
Yeah, seems wiser though, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, which
It's
is good.
amazing to see a change in a person like that
Yeah,
because he
yeah.
was boxing.
Because he's also gone through a big low, right? He lost everything,
everything,
he had. He
absolutely.
became
Yeah,
broke,
yeah,
absolutely. So I feel that realization.
What a
in
life
him,
he's had.
Yeah,
But quickly, last boxing question: 86 to 89 amongst the top 5, just the first 4 years before he goes to jail.
86 to 89.
When he's the title holder for the first 4 years, I'm saying, because that was a different Mike Tyson. That's the beast
Yeah,
who
yeah.
beat Marvis Fraser in like 40 seconds, and nobody could touch him.
Yeah,
Would you say as good as any?
yeah, true.
Yeah.
Even you've not seen fights, if you do not seen knockouts like that, even through Muhammad Ali.
No.
Yeah. Mike Tyson brought something else on the
Wow.
table. Yeah, it's
And you know what I
it's
like,
that-
Faruk? My hair still stands up thinking, because I used to get up early morning to see it was free for us, paid for you.
Hmm.
And he had no fanfare. And the other guy would come at 17 girls and this baja and music and and stare downs and all. He'd just come in a black cloth.
Hmm.
Just the head would move
Yeah,
twice,
yeah.
take it off. It's like, let's go.
Yeah, he's
It reminded me of Viv-
actually the raging bull.
Imran Khan, speaking of Viv Richards, same thing, he said, Viv is the only one who eyeballed me.
Wow,
He
nice.
would stand there, hamstrings cocked like that,
Mm.
on with the bat in his hand, and wait to take the stance, and he maintain eye contact with Imran at his best, bowling at 150. Nobody else would do that. All their batsmen would look away. When the fast bowler is at his best, you don't want to make eye contact.
Was Tyson good at shit talking, like talking shit?
We talk back later on, talk
Yeah.
rubbish later on and all that. But in the beginning, those first 4 years, he just wanted to kill you.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
It was like you take the Rottweiler ka leash off.
Leash off
and
and
boom.
bull.
And
Raging bull.
the testosterone in the room when he's doing
Oof.
that is just something else, man.
Yeah.
It's like that's a warrior killing. Like
Wow.
I can't think of anything like that. And then, of course, when he comes back from jail, it's slowly not the same. And then at the end, I mean, he's
I think he just took away his own greatness by that bite that he did. I mean, that was just
Sure.
yeah.
that was the one.
I think 86 to 90, Evander wouldn't have had a chance.
He was
Yeah.
hungry, guys. It's okay.
It was MMA. This is different style of sport.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, let's get back to. We can't
Yes,
keep
like,
segueing to
Arsenal,
boxing.
I want to ask. Very early on in your career, you got a chance to work AD on Phir Bhi Dil Hindustani. We
Yeah,
already talked about
that's
that.
right.
How was it like working with Shah Rukh Khan, Juhi Chawla, Paresh Rawal?
Very amazing. They're really nice people. They're really normal, nice people. I mean, Juhi, we used to call her Juhi Amma, was also very, very sweet. And of course, Shah Rukh Bhai is very gracious
Of course,
and
yeah.
treats everybody really nicely. And I got the good fortune of working with both of them in very close quarters because it was their own production house. I was the youngest guy around,
Wow.
fairly, reasonably adab aur tehzeeb thi mujh mein. So I got
You
tolerated.
gave the right
I got
insincere
tolerated
respect.
in a room. Acha, there's somebody sitting in a corner listening.
Yeah.
I got tolerated because of good manners.
Wow.
Kind
That's
of-
half of why I'm at IBM. This is good manners.
Other half is you're not there.
Yes. That's what-
We are waiting for you. That's the other half.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
so
Yeah, actually, he is like
amazing.
that. When you talk about Tehzeeb and all that, he's very polite. He's especially respectful. That old world respect with elder people, seniors, strangers. He's a great PR guy. You know what? You don't come. You just be on the phone with everyone and
So you never
say hi,
say,
Farooq.
yeah.
Welcome to the. You just
Yes,
do
yes.
that bit. Warm him up so he's in a good mood. Put him here.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. But must have been a great impact on you, like very early on in your career. I imagine this happened, right?
Yeah, I think it's such an impressionable year now when you
exactly.
work with. I think I was actually, you're right. I was very fortunate to work with nice people, and fairly intelligent, hardworking, passionate people. So that I think rubbed off pretty nicely on me in those impressionable years. I mean, all thanks to them. I didn't really have a clear-cut guru ever, but again, I'm slightly autodidact in that nature, as in.
I'll explain. अंग्रेजी नहीं आते उनको.
Much.
So he likes to be his own boss.
I
you
got
know,
it, I
he-
got it,
and he
yeah.
likes to.
I
It's not
concurred.
possible to.
Yeah.
He's anti-authority. Authority can't take care of him.
Yeah.
He's a bit like us guys.
Yeah.
So
Loose cannons.
he's like the young Tyson. You be careful.
Yeah.
Stay there. were you a good puncher?
I was a very good boxer. Yes.
More attacking, more defensive. Just
Um,
be basic.
I was an intelligent boxer. Always. I never went into like Tyson go in for the knockout or something. I was more like how Floyd Mayweather is. It's
Okay.
more technical.
Scientific.
Yeah, I was more scientific. There's an award called in school
Best
called
scientific
the best.
boxer. Yeah, we all
I've
have
won
yeah.
that twice.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah.
Excellent.
So I was very
That's basically the guy doesn't get hit much.
Yeah.
Generally, that's how you look at the scientific boxer. He comes back, he looks almost clean.
And
after the
again, I
fight.
like Alvarez a lot because the kidney punch was my favorite punch, as in because I was slightly more shorter
Yeah.
than the other boys in my weight category. So
Can you show us
that-
kidney punch?
that
Silver
was-
just
that
stand up.
that was my go-to punch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you going to make a boxing film? Out and out.
Yes, I've always wanted to.
Boarding school. We in one of the
Yeah.
rounds you can knock out in the second round.
Yeah.
Silver karega kam.
I'll get beat up. I'll be the guy,
Bro,
the goon on the road.
it's
who
never the
fights
role.
the hero.
Just take it. Yeah.
Boxing is still not such popular culture in our country as yet. No, I mean, like I said, only the reserve forces, the army, the navy, the railways. Usually, boys from there come into boxing. Boxing is not like it's not like
Not-
football and cricket played in every
Yeah.
school of the country, and it's not
Pocket billiards is.
a
That's the sport we can
pocket
examine.
billiards. So sab log,
Yeah. I was
Sorry.
pretty good, yeah, Silvery.
Yeah.
Back in the day. Huh?
yeah.
Nice. Good for you,
Chalo.
man.
Let's move to the AMAs.
Yes, let's absolutely move to the AMAs.
Have you seen the web series?
I have not. Shockers. is-
Sexual.
Shockers
Okay.
also is a
Shockers.
series I did. That's
Yes.
on Hotstar. That was even before Netflix and Amazon came to India.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And
But that-
Shockers was the first original series on Hotstar.
horror, right? This is
It's supernatural. Horror is a slightly abused term in our country. I mean, horror you usually think is
IVM.
Ramsey Brothers or somebody doing some exorcism.
Hey, don't knock Ramsey Brothers. Green blood, bro.
Green,
I pay money for that, yeah.
green blood.
They've had green blood in Bisal Baad or something. It was beautiful. I was a young boy. I was watching this movie the days when it was on one Doordarshan channel or whatever. It was amazing. Just that, because it just kills the horror.
okay. Wow.
Because the blood spills out green. You know, I mean, like,
So we had nothing like that.
Yeah.
Ours was more. I mean, I was more inspired by the slightly M Night Shyamalan-ish
Nice.
way
Yeah,
of
what happened to him?
what
He's
happened?
back in stride now.
Is he?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What happened to him? It's
After
we
3,
are
4
all
big
work.
hit films,
We
and
are all work in progress.
he reminds me of Ram Gopal Verma in that sense. Like started really well and then suddenly disappears. And then
That's not true.
No?
He's been doing good, prolific
Yeah.
work.
The one with what's the actor's man?
Bruce Willis.
No, the new one with the crossover between all of them.
He's done with
Glass
Joaquin
and
Phoenix
then-
also,
yeah.
right? Like
Yeah, that one I heard was really good. Like really cool mashup.
he's an unusual filmmaker, no? So
Very strange middle name.
M. Night. All right. Cool. Let's go to the AMAs. This first one comes in from Dhwani Kulkarni. She says, hi, Cyrus and Faruk. Cyrus, big fan of yours. Have been listening to the show since the pandemic and can't seem to put it down.
She's lying.
Faruk, she says, Faruk, you've directed both theater and then also TV and film. What's the biggest difference when it comes to the both of them acting wise? And what are the biggest challenges in both? And what advice do you give to actors who might be making that shift from theater to camera or vice versa?
from theater to camera, vice versa. I feel like every actor should have the knowledge to be able to decipher the script really well and to be able to mark their scripts really well. And actors don't usually, I don't see a lot of actors do that who I've worked with. But I think for me, there's no difference between directing for the web or directing for film. Finally, you're trying to tell a good story. And I feel this is all jargon. You should not get stuck into these complex things. You're an actor. Let the actor disappear and only the act remain.
The only problem I'll say
simple
from
as
the
that.
point of view of acting
Yeah.
is that theatre is actually easier no matter what people say, because you stay in the moment for a longer period of time. So you get into a rhythm and momentum. You can't get out of it. So actually, it's like playing a sport or something. You get better generally.
Sure.
You're in and out when you're doing cinema. So you've got to remember that.
Yeah,
and it's
correct.
really unnatural sometimes. You'll say action and you're saying something emotional or
Yeah,
something
Sometimes
stupid.
shooting out of sequence also.
Because
Yeah,
you
it's
also have to
not-
understand that theater is an actor's medium.
Correct.
TV is a writer
Technical
producer medium.
Yeah.
And film is a director's medium because
Right.
it's the amalgamation
And
of
internet is the truth's medium. Just throwing it out there. Yeah.
So the advice would be just stick to your guns as an actor.
I think just on set especially, just try and follow the director as much, because he's seeing everything in his head together while you might not be able to. So it's best to, if you trust your director, it's best to kind
And
of
if you
go by.
don't, you make us do it again.
If you don't
So
trust
what's
your
the-
director, then just go by your own conviction. But if you trust your director, then completely go by his conviction or her conviction, whatever it is. I feel that's the best way.
Beautiful.
Don't worry, we have to audition first.
That's right.
A lot of times actors want to do something, but I purposely make sure I don't let them do that. Even though they might in that moment think that's correct, because again, I'm slightly Shakespearean in nature. I'd like to do it for the audience. Sometimes actors act for themselves.
Oh yeah.
You have to be able to act for the audience. You have to entertain the audience, right? So
Yeah.
that difference I've seen in
Again,
many
write this down for
actors.
the podcast. We should start. That should be our first
Entertain
line.
the audience first.
Disclaimer.
Next one comes in from Siddharth Prasad, who says, hi Farooq, love the film Khuda Haafiz. Didn't get a chance to watch the sequel yet, but it's definitely on my watch list. I wanted to ask, how was it working with Vidyut on the movie, and what sort of a person is he off screen? We already answered this.
Yeah, he's a lovely person off
May I
screen.
ask-
He's also a friend now. So
But why would you go with him as the first choice? Not that it's a bad thing. Why did his name come in?
why would I not?
But why?
Again, what interested me is that I was wanting to do something with him that he had not explored before. It becomes boring for me to work with an actor I'm already making them do
They bring the
something.
baggage of that.
I'm already
avatar.
making them do something that they've already done before. That doesn't interest
This is
me.
why I'm looking at porn as a career.
Yeah, I mean, you should go to Prague. Yeah.
Prague, is it? What is this regionalism of sorts now? Attack poor Prague. What have they done? Yeah, I mean, I'd love to go.
They have the best producers
it?
for
Yeah.
porn films in the world.
So I see you're watching a Pornhub, because I know a lot of Czech productions there myself. Yeah, you would understand better.
That's fine.
You're not allowed. No, they've locked the child lock is
correct.
on. No?
Yeah,
Prague is in Czechoslovakia.
Oh, sorry.
got it.
You're in the
Not
geography.
there.
ये तो पंजाबी है.
correct.
He'll figure it out eventually.
Prague? और आप दिल्ली में?
यार वियना से right ले ले.
How did you meet Vidyut? Like, how did you Did you know him beforehand?
No, I didn't know him before. We were introduced to meet and talk about a possible collaboration,
Uh-huh.
and I just heard him out, and then I kind of told him this is what I am doing, and we decided to collaborate on it. See, the thing is with Vidyut, now there's a bias, right? I'd gone to meet an actor, and I have now landed up with a very very dear friend. So
Wow.
for me, it's quite special, our relationship,
So you,
because it's very difficult in the industry to actually make genuine friends, and there's
Sure.
this cliche that goes around that actors kisi ke dost nahi hote. That's all bullshit. They are as human as anything can get,
yeah.
unless vanity has got the better of it. But he's pretty down to earth and chill like that, and we always have very real conversation. It's not like I'm talking to some star or I have to cocoon something before saying to him. So
Yes.
credit goes to him.
You say that about me?
Never. No, you're very easy to talk to, Cyrus, because
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
You bastard.
I just don't talk.
Last 2 minutes जाने के बाद, huh? Make sure. Yeah.
Nice. Great.
I just want to ask a segue question from the same point, which is there a checklist of actors that you'd like to work with?
Yes.
One or two?
I mean, yeah, sure. Ranveer Singh fascinates me with the kind of passion he puts in.
Yeah.
There's Surya from down south, whose work I really like. There are other actors. There's Deepika, whose work I'm very fond of. Alia, of course, is really good at what she does. Shah Rukh Bhai would be a dream, since I started my career with them. So yeah, I mean,
Shah Rukh ko phone kar. I'll organize this. You deserve Shah Rukh in your next film. Nothing less.
Have you met Shah Rukh since? And have you talked to him? Okay, oh, I AD'd on this film with you.
yeah, of course. My wife kind of shot a couple of ad films with him.
Oh, wow.
And she was playing his wife in those ad films.
Oh, wow.
I met him on set. Again, that's the only time I like.
So
bumped
he was
into
just a
him
humble
again.
AD.
Yeah.
His wife went straight to co-star. Just remember that. So back in the family, you have to ask her about Shah Rukh, not him.
I mean, many years later, after I finished aiding, my wife did a couple of ads with him.
That's amazing. Ria Sinha has asked, "Hey, Cyrus and Faruk, how's it going? Faruk, I wanted to know how was the experience of prepping for India's first supernatural web series. So, how did that come about?
So Shockers came at a point when India was not making anything on the web. There was only, I think, TVF and Culture Machine, these two companies which were like doing some stuff. And there's a saying that goes that if you've seen the bandwagon, it's already too late to get onto it. So I kind of was interested in doing the longer format. I was not getting work to do in the longer format. I was just getting ad film work. So I decided to stop making ad films, write my own stuff, and make these short films. So Shockers, which is with Kalki Cochin, Diya Mirza, Amit Saad, Pratik Babbar, Mukesh Chabra, lots of these actors. Basically, the concept was one night, one actor, one location, one story.
Sounds sexual now.
So each of Shocker's films have been shot just in one night. And there are these, I wanted to just tell these unusual, spooky tales. I didn't even know who's going to buy it, what's going to happen. I'll start my own YouTube channel, put it out there. Sorry, but luckily.
So that's amazing. All the short stories have just a single actor.
But you
in them,
finished the shoot in one night.
Wow.
Yeah. I am obnoxiously fast as a director.
That's fantastic, bro. I mean, we can save money if nothing else. Just imagine.
It's your favorite kind of, yeah.
Exactly.
I was producing it
But
myself also.
I don't know
so
why people take so long.
I had to
shoot
do it in
sometimes.
a guerrilla way. I was producing it myself, and I just thought, okay, all these actors who are friends of mine, let's just reach out to them.
It was gratis. They all worked.
No, I mean later on when we did the sell to Hotstar,
Fair enough.
then there was something shared, very basic, but yeah, it was more on gesture and saying like let's have fun, let's come together for one night and let's have fun. Pretty much what you like to do, Cyrus, with strangers.
He's a boxer. He's going to keep punching. You can't do anything about it.
What's the fastest shoot you've been on? Because I know you complain about how long
These films are 15-14 minute long. I mean, these are short films.
Yeah.
No, but depends if you just do
Cyrus doesn't like it that long. He doesn't.
Cyrus can't do it that.
5
Yeah.
minutes.
Doesn't last that long.
Article 377 pointed out that I have no future in this country. Yeah. Okay. Can we take one last one?
That's the end of our. We had only 3.
All right. So coming up, we were just discussing that when he interrupted and we had to take a break. So coming up, you've got 2 scripts at the moment.
Yeah.
One is with Surya, which will first go. It's his story, goes into Tamil, then comes back and goes into Hindi.
Yeah.
Hopefully. But you haven't decided on that cast yet. And the second one?
The second is a very interesting yet non-jingoistic patriotic film. It's
Not possible in India.
pretty much the need of the hour right now.
You think?
Yeah.
I
Why
thought, I
not?
thought we could take a break from that for a little while.
No.
Thoda kafi ho gaya. I was feeling, I don't know, am I wrong? It just got that sense. Yeah. I mean, they come and they gave the flag, in the buildings and all, I mean,
That's nice.
yeah, but then
That's nice. I
I
feel like,
going up and all that,
honestly,
it's
for the
like-
longest time, I felt like, like when fancy cars used to drive in Bombay and all, we used to see a American flag on it.
Yeah.
And trust
that
me,
was my car.
I always, that was your car. I always wondered, even like 10 years back, why is there
But they didn't let
American and
us.
British
Yeah,
flags?
correct.
Farooq, they didn't let us. They didn't. There was a
You're
law
right.
against.
You're
putting the-
absolutely right.
You dare take the flag out anywhere.
You're right. In
Yeah.
2000 and I think 15,
Jindal, one of the Jindal guys fought this case and blah blah blah. Yeah.
and the Supreme Court then allowed you to.
You realize you're a country, you should have your flag.
In fact, when the BMC guys came to my office, they already saw a very huge flag already there. Ever since that Supreme Court verdict came out, since then, वो shooting से एक flag आ गया था. We
Huh.
put it in our office.
Oh, nice. Huh.
And it's been there since.
I like to keep my options open. I have 7 flags.
The hotel.
Depending on who's visiting, Rishi. Come on. Just kidding. Don't send a
But
lawsuit.
there's no excuse for any kind of delivery to be late ever again. If all the houses in India can get a flag before Independence
That's
Day.
good thinking.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
true.
There's no
Zomato,
excuse for
buck
anything,
up,
dude.
yaar. What's going on?
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
So,
If-
one second. Let me understand. 30
Like even
seconds.
the post office and all. If like your post is
30 minutes for
mail is
pizza, 30 seconds for
late- yeah.
anything patriotic.
Even the money back that needs to come to you. I mean,
Yeah, it should be very timely.
The 15 lakhs? Are we discussing that now?
Oh no, that's never gonna.
I told my dad I don't need a job. I said we're good, yeah, for the next year. हुआ नहीं? पहुंच गया? Flag पहुंच गया? वो पैसा?
पैसा का very much.
They'll get back to you.
Yeah, yeah.
Farooq, it's been fantastic talking to you and great fun. Hope to have you on. Maybe we can just freewheel the next time.
Yeah,
Talk about all
thank you so
kinds of
much.
things. And if you'd like to cast him in your next film, he's looking
yeah,
forward to it.
Antariksh, sure. I
Yeah.
mean,
I'm in for whatever. I'll play a woman if you need me.
no,
to.
space film
Don't say
for
woman
sure,
like it's a
I mean.
bad thing, you idiot.
No, like cross dressing and all. I don't usually do.
But
But
I've- उससे 377
I've
उसका हो गया.
already cooked up a character from you in my mind. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
Great.
going to name a character Antariksh and I'm
Yeah.
going to
Oh
have
wow,
Yeah.
this is.
Yeah.
Can I audition to play myself?
No, nothing.
Sure.
When you're playing a lash, there's no audition really.
Yeah. Okay.
Bus, you just
Okay,
have to
God.
lie still.
Antariksh मर गया. He's just dead.
Chalo, okay, bye guys.
Thank you so much.
See you guys.